Hi guys. I was really hoping I wasn't going to have to make another video about this girl, but she's actually doing me a favor because she made another vid and I'm going to actually go through this one and just point out all of the nonsense that she's spewing and how it just tries to feed in to the official narrative she pretends she's feeding you the official narrative while she pretends she's not feeding you the official narrative. And watch what she does at the end. I find it very, very, very suspicious what was done at the end of her vid because it makes me wonder if you'll see. It's very interesting. So we're going to watch this vid and then I'm going to pick it apart. And this is Really Graceful's vid. I don't know what's it called, who is running the United States. So I'm just going to play it.
Hey internet friends, this is admittedly a weird update, but has a successful coup occurred in our country? Who is even running our country right now? On Sunday, President Biden dropped out of the 2000.
Okay, well, the first thing I want to say is that if she was suggesting here that Biden was ever running this country, she's delusional. Or Trump, for that matter. Those decisions were being handed to those people, and they just carry out their order. And here's the other thing. I wish somebody can explain this to me. Because if you read the comments in the section in this and in her last vid, the other one that I criticized, 95% of the comments 95% of the comments disagree with what she's trying to say and agree with what I've been saying in every vid for the past year and a half, that it is literally a WWF pro wrestling charade that we are being presented. Most of the comments are saying he never ran the country, the president's just a face. 95% of the comments are disagreeing with her. So my question is if 95% of her comments are disagreeing with her and agreeing with me, why do I have 300 subscribers and she's got 400,000? That just goes to show you how twisted these social media platforms really are, as far as putting people in contact with the information that they're actually seeking. Do you know what I mean? Like, all these people are disagreeing with her, but somehow they're ending up on her vid to get fed her line of bullshit here. But yet my channel is like crickets. It's truly unbelievable how social media is used. It's really it was their greatest psychological operation in a long time, social media.
2024 presidential race, making his announcement with a letter posted on social media. A sketchy letter with a sketchy signature and lacking the official White House seal.
Ooh.
Apparently, his staffers only found out an hour before the letter was posted, and other staffers found out from his post on social media. By the way, who posted the letter from his account? We all know he couldn't compose a tweet even on his best day. And even stranger, Biden is missing in action with no public appearances since July 7th.
This is all conspiratorial nonsense that every single rational person should be ignoring and laughing at. And what she's doing is she's trying to bring all this nonsense to everybody's attention. And it's so funny. Like I said, read the comments. 95% of the comments are telling her she's wrong, basically, about what she's saying. And that it's a big charade. There's not two sides fighting with each other.
17th, when he was last seen exiting Air Force One. And thus, rumors are swirling about his declining health. So again, I ask, who is actually running the country right now? No mainstream media dares to touch the implication that if Biden isn't fit enough to run for office, is he even fit enough to finish out his term?
And see, this is where these shills try and give legitimacy to like an official. Biden isn't making any decisions, silly little girl. I mean, I would hope that you would understand that So in her logic, so this is what, and I've been calling out a lot of these Trump tards with this lately too. Is her logic? So she thinks Biden is the one who threw. Biden's the one who threw the last election. Biden and the Democrats. You think it was Biden and Democrats that threw the last election. If you do, you have no clue what you're even talking about. That's not how the election was rigged. It's just not what happened. Biden doesn't have capability to do that. So there's obviously somebody above Biden that's pulling all these strings. But she wants you to believe that, like, Biden or Trump, for that matter, has some sort of power. They're face men. They're the face men. They ain't Vince McMahon. Okay.
You'll remember that last week, Biden claimed to have tested positive for COVID, even though he promoted the vaccine as a cure-all for never getting COVID, but I digress. Biden said he'd self-isolate and recover at his home in Delaware. Then came the news that Biden would consider dropping out if doctors said his health wasn't up to par for another presidential term. Now, there are a ton of rumors swirling paired with anonymous accounts that Biden is either quickly declining or has expired entirely.
CBS News had a brief conversation with Frank Biden, one of President Biden's two younger brothers, and here's what he told us. He said, "I'm incredibly proud of my brother. Selfishly, I will have him back to enjoy whatever time we have left. Enjoy whatever time we have left. Enjoy whatever time we have left."
Over the course of the last 3 days, the entire Democratic Party has shifted and restructured without a word from the sitting president of the United States. Kamala has secured delegates, endorsements, and opened up the gates for floods of donations to her campaign.
Just like every other
Biden
politician.
allegedly called into Kamala's campaign event. Take a listen. What do you notice?
It is so good to hear our president's voice. Joe, I know you're still on the call, and we've been talking every day. You guys heard it from Doug's voice. We love Joe and Jill. We really do. They truly are like family to us. And we do, everybody here does.
This is the other thing. Like, I hope you people can see that the information that this little shill is trying to feed you is totally controlled. Nobody should be wasting a second of their life thinking about all this fake nonsense that's presented to them. And she wants you focused on it, and she wants all your attention on it. This is what people should be running away from. And like I said, I find it very interesting how she's got 404,000 subscribers. 95% of the comments are disagreeing with what she's saying and agreeing with what I've been saying. And I have 300 subscribers. So just figure out how YouTube works.
It's neutral.
I knew you were still there. You're not going anywhere, Joe.
I'm watching you, kid. I'm watching you, kid. I love you.
I love you, Joe. Oh.
She almost says recording instead of call. And Biden...
This is grocery store checkout, tabloid nonsense meant to entertain the same people that wear the Trumpy patch ear. That's what she's presenting you. She thinks you're as stupid as the people that wear the Trumpy patch ear.
Is without a stutter. Reported by the New York Post today, Biden has canceled 9 trips that were scheduled for the next 2 weeks. This news came in around the same time as a letter from Biden's doctor saying that his COVID symptoms had nearly resolved. So just so we're clear and responsible in stating the obvious here, the White House has not provided any indication that Biden's condition is more serious than reported. But they're all liars anyway, so what is that worth?
Yeah, exactly. So why would you trust? And this guy, there's other shills that do the same thing she's doing here. They're all lies anyway, but she just got done reading you 50 of these different lies that she got off the internet. So it's like it's just so funny. The fact that, well, I'm glad to see most of the comments are pretty much disagreeing with her, but it's just crazy how these shills try and pretend they are one thing, and then at certain times they let their true colors be shown and they push a totally different agenda. Like, she's trying to suck you into this political charade. That's what she's trying to do here. And when it gets to the end and she says what she says, it makes me believe that this whole first section was something that she was paid to put out, and then she does damage control at the end.
Now, the hospice and death claims remain unsubstantiated rumors without credible evidence. I personally believe this was the plan all along, to have Trump and Biden out of the race simultaneously.
Okay, so right there, she wants you to believe that the assassination attempt was real. And so she's saying that the deep state couldn't manage to... She thinks that somebody above that, the guy that got blamed, was trying to take the Trump out and that they failed. Is that what she's really saying? I mean, she's trying to sell you on all the fake official story, the show. She's trying to sell you on the political show that these social engineers are trying to feed everybody. And she's like their little propagandist. It's truly disgraceful. She better change her name.
Our reality could descend into total chaos. Also, was Biden even running the country to begin with? Obviously, the shadow government is at play during every presidency. But was Jill's hand hovering above the nuclear button this entire time? As Melissa from TruthStream Media pointed out, it's on record that President Woodrow Wilson had a stroke and his wife ran the White House while he was incapacitated.
No. I'm willing to bet he had a stroke and his wife took orders from everybody that was giving him orders. That's how that went down. The wife didn't run the country. She had advisors and shadow people that got him in that were telling her what she needed to do. So, I mean, it was probably even better than having him in because she just would do what they said without question, where he might try and have a little backbone. It's truly crazy.
That was kept secret from the American people until his death years after his term ended. In the meantime, the First Lady, in effect, took over many of the president's responsibilities, including reviewing various important matters of state. Even after the president was released from his sickbed, he still spent the remainder of the year in a wheelchair. As 1920 came about, his mental health had clearly deteriorated as his mind wandered and he exhibited a diminished memory. Thus, the First Lady continued to play a pivotal role as a sort of unofficial acting president. As the First Lady put it, she had taken on
acting president as in taking orders from all the same people that her husband was taking orders from.
On a stewardship to care for the largely incapacitated president and keep the American government running as smoothly as possible. The situation was so unique in American history and the president's condition so tragic that the extent of what the ailing president endured was kept secret from the American public until his death a couple years after his term ended. What do you think, Internet friends? Some of y'all comment that y'all don't care and politics is a circus and they're stealing your loosh or whatever.
This is the part I want you to hear right here because I'm going to let it play again because this is where she completely delegitimizes everything that she said prior to this and tries to save face to all the people who actually know what's going on. And it was like she tried to propagandize all the stupid people in the first 90% of the vid. And then at the last couple minutes, she tries to save face to people that know what's going on. Here we go.
After his term
That's
ended.
what she does.
What do you think, Internet friends? Some of y'all comment that y'all don't care and politics is a circus and they're stealing your loosh or whatever. And really, from a certain angle, I'm agreeing with you. I'm standing there with you, and I understand you. But these events have real-world implications.
Right. But did you see what she just did? She's basically... What she just did there is she completely went against the whole charade that she told you prior to that point. And now she's saying, after feeding you that whole charade, she's saying she believes that it's a whole circus and they're trying to steal your shit. But it has real world implications. And it's very, very shilly the way this girl is. And I mean, what's even worse than this girl is the way these platforms are set up. If you really want to know, if you really want to understand the type of evil that is running YouTube, you would have to have used YouTube within the first couple years, because what they've done to this platform, YouTube could have been a really, really, really great tool for humanity. But it has been systematically destroyed. As soon as they seen something, every time the people in control of YouTube saw something about it that gave the power to the people, it got cut off immediately. And then as soon as they found something else, that got cut off immediately. And it's just, they've whittled it away to where now they have full control over what you are presented. And it's very interesting because, like, I have a few channels, and what I notice is that on certain channels that I go to, I get a totally different experience. Like, on my main channel, this channel, they don't show me any really political stuff at all. They don't try and jam any of these like meat TikTok shorts with these idiots talking about the election, one side or the other. I don't see any of that. But then if I sign into my other account, all I will get will be bombarded by political stuff. So they're definitely targeting different content to people that they think want to see that particular content. It's very interesting. All I want to say is that what she just did here is the first whole half of the movie, the whole first 90% of it, she fed you a bunch of fantasy reality bullshit of shit that she heard on the news and little side things that she heard to try and legitimize things she heard on the news. And then in the last 10 seconds, or the last 10%, she tried saying that some of y'all say it's a circus and they're out for your Lucci, and I can agree with that. And right there, what she's trying to do is trying to placate the people that actually understand what's going on. And if you read the comments, you go through and read the comments, and I mean, nobody agreed with what she's pretty much saying in the beginning. To believe what she said in the beginning, you would have to believe that it was Biden who threw the election, or even the Democrats. Let me explain to you. The last election wasn't thrown. I'm going to say it one last time. The last election was used as a social engineering tool to manipulate the reality of very, very, very out of touch with reality people. That's all it was used for. And like, I want to know how when Trump here's my question. Did the deep state, did they forget how to throw elections? Did the deep state forget how to throw elections? Or are you just a gullible fucking idiot? That's my question to you. When Trump gets in, you can ask yourself that. Alrighty, guys. Take care.